We're going to begin with a phrase. We're going to anchor in a phrase. We're going to anchor in the phrase first. And the phrase is, all is not what it seems, or all is not as it seems. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind through this entire video. Then I need to drop two primary subject headings for you. We're going to be talking about both the perfect storm as well as the new earth. And I think these are kind of going to be our two topic areas for a while until things settle out. Now, let's start along the timeline. Let's start with the timeline of over the weekend, I did the energy forecast, and in the energy forecast, Spirit Team said, this week, big week, beyond everything. This week sets in motion things that'll be happening for the rest of our life, like big key turning point moments. So, I mean, if you're like me, I've been kind of like watching, paying attention. And even though there's really big news stories on the headlines, like I look at the news and like 10 years ago, any one of these news stories would have just rocked us. And now we're just kind of walking around like, business as usual, right? Volcanoes going off, earthquakes happening, geopolitical cracking apart. But before I crazily digress, these big events for this week, I think I'm being shown them. Like, at least I know I'm experiencing some and being shown them. And so let's kind of talk about what those areas are. All right. So knowing what Spirit Team said to us over the weekend and the energy forecast about this being a big turning point week and to pay attention to that. And then Monday, we landed the psychic results of July 7th and July 14th and kind of got really clear about all that. Well, then the next day, the very next morning, Tuesday morning, I'm out doing my morning dog walk with Peanut, and just big energy message, just in the air, big energy messaging of echo, like, all is not as it seems, all is not as it seems. Like, that's how my day began. And as I'm in that energy of all is not as it seems, like I'm tuning in with the energy and what am I feeling, what am I picking up on, and really big otherworldly energies. And this went on for like all day Tuesday and all day Wednesday. Really big otherworldly energies. And the crazy thing is, like, I felt ultra grounded. Like, I know I was in my body, but at the same time I was in my body, I was kind of like here, not here, that thing. And I didn't feel that concerned about it. Like, I felt ultra calm, ultra in my body, here, not here, all is not as it seems. Definitely new earth energy. Oh, like new earth energy, like magnified, like I've never felt it before. And like, I gotta say, like, there were attunements happening. It didn't feel heavy duty like attunements, and it didn't feel like timeline jump either. It didn't feel like we were having to like exert ourselves or anything. It just felt like a very much graceful and easeful, like island time, being on island time. I had that feeling of like time out of mind, mind out of time, like here, not here. Time began, like time lost its consistency. And this went on for 2 days. And I'm still functional, like I'm taking care of things, doing things, but it was definitely, don't want to say fishbowl. It felt a little fishbowl-y. Like, so I think my first stop here is like, let me know if you are having interesting things happening like that, because I did pick up an Erin Brown Schumann's. I haven't been back to look since, and she was like, Schumann's, look at the Schumann's. Oh, kind of felt weird. And then there were people in the comments, and then I'm like, oh, this is not just a Dana thing. There's more going on here. And so Tuesday and Wednesday, I know we were doing something like a new earthy ascension. I don't even want to say timeline. It was a new earth adjustment, an ascension adjustment, a higher power adjustment, and there was a whole lot of ease and grace. I did not have to work at anything. I almost had the feeling of, and I think Spirit Team was saying something to me like, You've done all the work, Dana. You've done all the work. You do not have to work at all with this. Just like allow it to happen. And so there was a lot of ease and grace with no work. There was no drawdown in energy. I didn't feel tired. I felt good. And yet it was kind of like that wah kind of feeling and elevated. There was definitely an elevation going on. And everything, there was like a higher sensitivity to things. And the few times that I did go out in public, like, you know, the light. Like you could feel the light and see the light and you could see it in others and you could, like, I had that, like when I would close my eyes or feel into it, I'm like, oh my God, we're really in the light field matrix right now. And so that went on for 2 days. It was all Tuesday. Spirit team kind of let me know we were entering into something. It was Tuesday morning. And then they let me know when it completed and it was like Wednesday afternoon, right? And so to me, this is the headline, and I think we're going to be doing more and more of this in my psychic notes, my metaphysical reports of like, there's going to be area of this where we're talking about the new earth and what's happening and how we're anchoring in and how we're experiencing it. And I find it very interesting. Spirit team said on the weekend, big things, big week, life-changing event. And if I had to put my finger on it, and we're at Thursday now, I'm recording this on a Thursday. If I had to put my finger on it, we did something energetically huge on Tuesday, Wednesday, as a collective around the globe. We've never done before. We're like, I don't even want to say we're stepping into it because that would mean there's an effort. We're just entering into it, like we're crossing a threshold effortlessly. It's all like right there. And I've had this otherworldly feeling of like, yes, I went to check on the headline some, and it was that wah feeling of like, that's over there, and this is here happening, right? So that's one of the metaphysical reports that I want to give to you, and I want to ask you, like, what have you been experiencing? Have you been picking up on anything like that? And it has felt huge. It has felt different. It has felt very much like, oh, we just entered into something. We just did something that this sets a new course. We're like everything that we've worked so hard for, we're now set along. We're in that new course. Like it cannot change. Like this is happening. It's happening now. It's a big deal. And you can't see it in the headlines, but you can definitely feel it's in the air. I'd be very curious to hear and see what you're experiencing, and when you're experiencing it, along these lines of like what we might call like a new earth or a 5D or an ascension. Like there's so many different names for it. And I don't want to pigeonhole it into one thing because everybody's experiences is different. But, you know, just where you feel something of this essence might be going on, it would be curious for all of us to see what landscape we're building together at this point. So that's topic number one over the headline of the overarching headline of all is not as it seems. Now, then we turn and look the other direction. And the other direction is all of the dark shadow world chaos that we're living through right now. Now, the other thing that happened on Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, you know, all is not as it seems, and I'm feeling this otherworldly stuff, and it's different than any other energy experience I've ever had. And that's saying something because I've been doing this for almost 25 years now. So the other thing that was happening at the exact same time that this was happening, it was almost kind of like I was like, you know, like like there were two things to be looking at, and this other thing that I was looking at was like, oh my God, it's going to be a perfect storm. Oh my God, it's setting up as a perfect storm. Oh my God, it's setting up as a perfect storm. And so when we all cleared through that video that I did on Monday of the July 7th and July 14th psychic results, like I set that all up. We had the conversation in the comments. A lot more got clear. Like we could all kind of see that. Like we cleared through that. And then the other thing that happened Tuesday morning was this sensation of like, I started looking at the headlines and looking at the energetics of the shadow. Like I'm in the new earth thing. And then every once in a while I look at, and I looked at the energetic of the shadow and the regime and the headlines go like, I just kind of took a look at it. All this, it just impacted me. And there was a feeling of like, oh my God, like I went cross-eyed. I was like, oh my God, this is setting up as a perfect storm. Like what's going on with the quote unquote administration, it's setting up as a perfect storm. Like, and they can't get out of their ways to save their lives. And I will grant you, there are more horrible headlines continuing to come through, people's lives being dismantled, people being hurt, loss happening. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, it's scary. Like, I get that. And at the same time, when I look at the metaphysics of it, the metaphysical impact is it's setting up as a perfect storm, and they're not going to be able to get out of their own way. It's like, remember how I said that thing, and other people had also picked up on that thing of when they passed the big beautiful bill, it was like they signed their death warrant, like they were shooting themselves in their foot. Like, every time I look at that whole mass, I just keep seeing they're not going to be able to get out of their own way. It's beginning to unravel. You can see just the edges of it. It's beginning to unravel. And as it begins to come undone, they're not going to be able to get out of their own way. And the other impact that I had looking at that this week was, oh my God, we are going to learn all kinds of shit. Like the unveiling that I anticipate potentially may happen this fall, it is just it's going to be one ricochet after another. And so I think that also falls under the headlines of what Spirit Team said in that energy report over the weekend. The energy report saying, big week, big things are, decisions are being made. It's all setting up for big changes to happen for all of you. And as we've leaned into this week, we've seen big headlines. We know how things are headed, all of that. But you got to read between the lines. And so that as we take both this very amazing, high vibrational, new earth experience, like it anchored in this week in a way it's never anchored in before, right? And at the same time, looking between the headlines at the shadow world chaos that's going on, it's basically saying that I'm setting up into a perfect storm. So take a look at this, people. New earth anchoring in more and more, perfect storm setting up for an unraveling. Do you see it? Like this week was the first week I got a clear vision of like, oh my God, we're doing it. We're anchoring it in. Oh, shitstorm. Oh my God, perfect storm. And it's nuts. I don't know how we're doing it. And I don't know how we are staying sane. And I go back to what Spirit Team said to us over the weekend with that energy forecast of like, you guys, you're doing it. Like, it's setting up. It's a big thing. Like, this week is the pivot point of life-changing events setting up for us that then we are going to live out as we move through the fall into the next 2 years. Like, this week is like the pivot point of the setup. You can feel it in the air. You can feel the new earth, 5D ascension, all that energy. You can feel it. It's in our bodies. It's anchoring in. And then you look at the chaos, the dark world, horrible chaos going on. And that's, you can just see the edges of it beginning to unravel. I mean, for God's sake, the president taking the World Cup, like that whole debacle, what was that? New Jersey soccer World Cup, like they literally had to push him out of the picture. I mean, the man is losing it. He's losing it, and the further chaos, the further hateful, horrid chaos coming out of the White House. It's just, it's kind of like these two areas of like New Earth, Shadow World. They could not be more diametrically different or opposed, yet at the same time, like, we need this to help launch this. Like, keep that in mind. Like this is the thing we don't want that is coalescing us, all of us, in this new earth, higher vibration, collective consciousness to go to whole new levels, right? And we're at the epicenter. We're at the epicenter of that turning point. July 2025. Remember? Epicenter of turning point. Take that in a little bit. Take that in, take in the fact that you're alive during this amazing time to experience and witness it, right? Some days it's a blessing, some days it's a curse, right? But really take that in. You're a part of this whole thing, and not only are you a part of it, you're experiencing your own transformation as you're a part of it. Wow. Just wow. And it's not anything any of us could have really ever imagined. And sometimes we don't want to be here going through this because it's insane. But sometimes really stop and take in and absorb this epic space we're all walking through, both as individuals and then as a collective. It's pretty incredible because when I got through the whole Tuesday, Wednesday thing of that whole new earth ascension energy, whatever it is that we want to call it, when I got through it, I had the feeling of wow, never done that. That was once I got through it, I was oh wow, that's kind of got a new energy tourist kind of in it. And remember, again, I've been doing this for almost 25 years, and to have new energy experiences come through that's saying something. That tells you the new levels of thresholds we're going through right now and entering and engaging with. And so, that's nothing to sneeze at. That is pretty amazing. Yes, it is with the backdrop of the great chaotic, horrible, messy, nasty, painful shadow going on. That's all part of it, right? Now, the only other thing I want to drop at the end of this is the next date being July 20th. And as I'm saying the next date of July 20th, I also want to give a nod to the new spiritual people on their path here, the new 4Amers, all of those, you're scrambling to get your legs. And I know there's probably a feeling of oh my God, the psychics, they just keep dropping the next date and the next date and the next date. And so I want to give you a little bit of insider information here. And because I've had that same feeling through my spiritual journey, because my spirit team will go, this date and then this date and then this. And I'll say to them, I'm guys, it is never ending. Oh my God, it's too much. And so what I want you to know is when spirit team drops dates, and when psychics drop dates, what's happening there is high energy impact and high event impact is being defined. So when I hit the July 4th and the July 7th and the July 14th, we can look back now and go, oh, those are pretty big days. Well, the next big day, the next high energy impact or high event impact that I can see on the horizon, spirit team confirming, is July 20th. Is it a be all end all? No, it is not a be all end all. This is just my way of saying, next date that I see that is of consequence is July 20th. Probably going to be potentially be a big event day that we need to pay attention to some of the stuff there, or it could be big energy day. And then we're going to experience that, and then we're going to come down off of it, look at it, process that kind of thing. The one after that, it's massive. August 1st is the next one after that, and I'm going to be doing a whole video energy forecast on that one. So I just want to come back to the new spiritual people on their path and the new 4Amers and just tell you, yes, sometimes it feels endless because dates keep getting dropped. And all you need to know is those are dates of importance simply because it's peak on the field, we come down from it, peak on the field. If you notice, the 14th happened, there was a lot of activity, and then we came down off of it. And we've kind of been, turmoiling through it a little bit. You kind of feel, it's that in-between feel. It's oh, what just happened? Oh, what's the next thing? And you're in that in-between space. We've kind of been in an in-between space. Well, the next time we peak, probably going to be July 20th. And I think that's a Sunday, right? So right around my energy forecast time. So I just want to give that to you, to the new people. So you don't drive yourself crazy with us psychics or spirit team going, date, 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 because sometimes it's too much to handle. I get it. But it's just our way of saying like, peak, 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 right? So, and if you have any insights or experiences that you want to share with any and or all of the above with it, that's great. I like what we're doing in the comment section, building out the landscape. I think it is incredibly valuable for all of us to be able to read through, see what people are experiencing, because no one else is doing this except us. Other psychics are doing it. Like we're doing the experiential documentation that is not happening in real time anywhere else. We're doing that. So this is us taking care of us. And share if you want to. You don't have to. It's just us building out that landscape field so we can have a little bit better idea of like, oh, that's kind of what's, going on. And it's helpful. It's helpful. So, you're not alone. And you're not crazy. We can all be crazy together. All right. So that's what I've got for you for now. Make sure you keep walking forward to meet those miracles along the way. And I will see you in my next video.